Welcome, everybody. I am Leonard French, your favorite copyright attorney, here to talk about the new lawsuit by Genius Media, against Google and another lyric site or whatever. They caught them with some kind of clever watermarking scheme, and we're gonna check it out. Join me as we review the lawsuit from beginning to end on Lawful Masses with me, your host, Leonard French. Joining me in the studio tonight is none other than your community manager, Brandon Stark. Say hello, Brandon Stark.
I don't think Stark is... Hello! How are you doing?
Trademark claim from Game of Thrones.
It's just a clever username, I'm sorry.
It's just his
How
username.
you doing, guys?
Just his username, George R.R. Martin. Please do not come after him with the White Walkers.
Yeah. The White Walkers of copyright or trademark.
Welcome, everybody. As we get ready here, we're going to take just a moment to let the music settle down and the people filter in. We have
me and Leonard, we are in such a good mood today.
We are in such a good mood today. I would like to celebrate by thanking one of our viewers who probably isn't on the stream because I think he's in a different time zone. But Magic Thighs, thank you very much. Apparently, Magic Thighs has sent me something from Google, it's Google, we're doing a Google stream. Sent me something from Amazon here. So I have a new hat for y'all. Let me see if I can put this new hat on for you.
Yeah, it would be 11 p.m. for Magic, so he's probably not here right now.
Do we have to turn the lights down just a little bit for the hat?
It's brighter than the sun.
It's brighter than the sun. Yeah.
Amazing.
It lights up. Oh my God! It lights up.
Oh geez, the green screen is going crazy. Wow.
Thank you, Magic
The green
Thighs.
screen does not appreciate that.
Really appreciate that. Is this gonna work? Am I gonna be able to do my job? Yeah, I think this will work. This will work. We have fun. We have fun here. We have fun here, everyone. Welcome. So let's take a look, because you know that if we get any further distracted, because you know we wouldn't get distracted by anything else. There isn't anything else on our set that would ever distract anyone, is there? We would never have to go to another camera angle where Len is going to have to adjust, there we go, the camera, and the dog is going to jump up in his lap, because that's what we do on every stream. Up! Good boy. What a
every
good
stream
boy.
asterisk, every stream that the dogs are at.
Yeah, good boy. Good boy. Yeah, I picked them up today. I picked up the dogs today just for you. I literally just drove back and forth to my parents' house. Oh, and we're already getting the grunts. We're already getting Nico's very special happy grunts. And it's distracting the entire stream. We're going to have to put like a timestamp for all the people who want to get past the dog and go straight to the actual content. So you off. I know there's one other dog, and and where is she? Ilsa? Where'd you go? Okay, never mind. You have a treat here whenever I find you. Wherever you are, that's where you are. All right, so let's take a look. What has been filed against Google LLC and against Lyric Find by Genius Media Group Inc. Ilsa, here you go. She did get her treat. Ilsa did not get shorted. Okay, go lay down, honey. All right. So this is the summons. We're going to actually skip through some of this. It does say you are summoned to answer the complaint in this action. And I'm going to maybe do a dramatic reading of that. Because we're not going to edit this. This is a live stream, so never mind. I'm not going to do any of my shenaniganery for that. So no repeating myself, no production shenaniganery. All right, so Genius is a digital media company connecting fans of music across the internet. One of Genius's primary services is the development and maintenance of a vast repository of annotated music lyrics. Okay, so when I hear annotated, the first thing that goes off in my copyright lawyer's mind is a fair use argument for commentary, some of which are artist supplied, and many of which are transcribed and refined by a community of over 2 million contributors. Google and Lyric Find have been caught red-handed misappropriating content from Genius's website, which they have exploited and continue to exploit for their own financial benefit and to Genius's financial detriment. When repeatedly confronted by Genius with incontrovertible evidence regarding their conduct, defendants assigned blame elsewhere, but otherwise continued their unlawful behavior. Only after defendants' conduct became public in a Wall Street Journal article did defendants purport to address their misappropriation of content from Genius's website. Defendants' responses, however, are largely platitudes of high standards and best practices, but they ring hollow, and defendants continue to exploit content misappropriated from Genius's website while apparently attempting to conceal that misappropriation. This action seeks to halt defendants' unethical and unfair anti-competitive practices, as well as to recover damages for violations of Genius's terms of service as a result of defendants' misappropriation. So they go into the parties here, and we're going to kind of skip ahead. Lyric Find is apparently not registered to do business in New York, but does it anyway or something. I'm not too terribly worried about that. If it becomes material, we'll cover it when it does. Founded in 2009 as Rap Exegesis, somebody will correct me, Genius has become a preeminent source of lyrics for music is a preferred destination for major publications when reporting on or analyzing lyrics. It is commonly assumed that music lyrics are provided by music publishers and or record labels in connection with the release of new music. In the age of digital distribution, however, that is now rarely the case. And I remember you used to get your lyrics in your CD jewel case or whatever. Rather, while the music publishers and their songwriters usually own the copyright in the lyrics for a given song, they generally do not maintain a catalog of lyrics transcriptions. Companies that license lyrics for display from music publishers, like Genius and Lyric Find, do not typically receive any actual lyrics transcriptions in connection with their licensing agreements. Okay, so they have to do their own transcription and then also pay a license for it. I mean, yeah, the publishers have the right to make them do that, but geez, you could at least provide them with like a product for what they're paying for. Genius provides a platform for music enthusiasts who transcribe the lyrics and obtain lyrics through partnerships with artists who provide their lyrics directly. Genius, in turn, obtains licenses from publishers, permitting the display and distribution of those lyrics, because that's a core copyright. And so follow me here. You don't just have a copyright on the music that the instruments play. You don't just have a copyright on the final recording. You don't just have a copyright on the lyrics. You have a copyright on all of that. So that includes the lyrics as a sort of separate copyright, as well as, part of the final recording. And that's two separate things. So you get two different copyrights, or actually really multiple. And then there's several ways to license this too. You don't just license the music. You license either a recording or maybe the sheet music, or in this case, you're licensing the lyrics or something like that. Members of the Genius community are music enthusiasts. Lyrics transcription is an arduous task and often requires genre experts to repeatedly listen to songs in order to produce accurate transcriptions. Lyrics transcription on Genius is also a collaborative activity. Multiple members of the Genius community are able to work on a single lyrics transcription simultaneously. Genius has invested 10 years and $10 million and tens of millions of dollars to build the technology and community that supports collaborative lyrics transcription. The high quality and ready availability of lyrics on Genius are a direct result of this technology and their engaged community. They moderate the quality of content. People earn points, higher points, translate into greater abilities and trust, I guess. They earn revenue with partners, ad content, video commercials, production of custom content events, and events for major brands. Many Genius users arrive at its website after using a search engine, most typically Google, to find lyrics for a given song. Genius is often the top-ranked organic search result for Google or on Google for lyric search queries. They give an example of Selena Gomez Lose You to Love Me lyrics. All users that visit Genius's website, regardless of whether a user registers for an account with Genius, are bound by its terms of service, which are accessible to users from all pages of the Genius website. Thank you, Peter, for your $2. Google operates the internet's dominant search engine. In Google's 2004 IPO, Larry Page claimed, "We want you to come to Google and quickly find what you want. Then we're happy to send you to other sites. We want to get you out of Google and to the right place as fast as possible." Notwithstanding this public statement, Google has since altered its search product in a manner designed to keep users on Google-owned properties. That sounds about right. Upon information relief, Google added a feature in 2009 called the information box, which is displayed above, alongside, or interwoven with organic search results. For example, if a Google user queries the name of a celebrity, the search engine results will often display an information box that provides select information regarding a celebrity, along with a link to, say, Wikipedia for more information.
If I can add something really quick. I actually was banned from YouTube a week and a half ago, and the reason that they gave us for why I was banned when I was reinstated, which we're not 100% sure if this is true or not, but it was that I was posting comments on YouTube that was driving traffic off site. So I would support what they just said, as they originally started with the intention of getting people to the right place, but now they're trying to keep traffic on site to keep the revenue going.
Google expanded its information box product in December 2014. Currently, when a Google user queries the name of a song together with lyrics, same thing, Lose You to Love Me lyrics, the search engine results page may display an information box above all other organic search results showing the complete lyrics for the requested song. Unlike the preceding celebrity search example, lyrics information boxes display the full lyrics to songs and do not provide click-through links that provide additional content. You see what we're setting up here. The lyrics are copyrighted and they provide the entire copyrighted work. When virtually all mobile users and many desktop users search for song lyrics and Google returns an information box containing the requested song lyrics, the information box is displayed in such a manner the user cannot see any other search results without first scrolling down as shown below. So because it's such a long box, it's below the fold. We used to have newspapers, and newspapers used to be folded, and it didn't matter what was below the fold because nobody saw it unless you actually bought a copy of the newspaper. So it only mattered what's above the fold. Same thing on Google here. It really only matters what's above the fold because the vast majority of users are going to click on something from above the fold or above the screen, the first screen, like on the first screen. If you have to scroll down, yeah, sure, you'll get some users, and you'll probably get some really dedicated users who wanted to see more information. And those are qualified users. However, a lot of people don't go beyond that screen. So that's what they're upset about there. Also, I do want to let you know we're going to be getting further and further into the cleverness of the scheme as we keep going. So just hang in there. Moreover, Google's lyrics information boxes frequently appear in search results as part of larger search features that include links to Google-owned revenue-generating products, etc. So you've got the link to YouTube, the link to lyrics, the link to Spotify, Play Music, and something else down there. More searches, videos on YouTube, and then the organic search results start. But this is in a specially formatted page to make it look like that. They don't look like that unless you're like on an iPad or something like that. The competition for users on the internet In the competition for users on the internet, Google has designed its lyrics information box in a way that discourages users from seeking another result, and in many cases directs them towards other revenue-generating Google products. Since its founding, Google has faced numerous inquiries from competition authorities worldwide concerning actual or unfair or potential unfair competition. Google is dominant with 85% of the market share for online search, I believe. With respect to lyrics websites like Genius that appear organically on Google's search engine page results, the Search Quality Evaluator guidelines instruct evaluators to score those website results as moderately meeting a lyric searching user's intent, noting that many pages on lyrics websites are not 100% accurate. For the lyrics appearing in Google's own information boxes, however, evaluators are instructed to score the results as fully meeting a lyric searching user's intent, the highest possible score for that an evaluator may assign. So the evaluator is this paragraph that I skipped. Google has published a search quality evaluator guideline. You know, they really like their guidelines. Last updated September 2019, and they then rely on the work of those search quality evaluators who use those guidelines. That's what that's about. The disconnect in the rating guidance for Google's own lyrics information versus websites like Genius appears to rely on the assumption that Google's lyrics information box content is more accurate. That assumption does not bear out, as the lyrics featured in Google's information boxes are often inaccurate, and Google takes no steps, speculating, to either verify the accuracy of the data from its information box or establish the inaccuracy of lyrics appearing on competing websites. For example, as shown below, Google incorrectly displays results for the song Perfectly Wrong performed by Shawn Mendes. Genius, on the other hand, displays the accurate results. And you can see the differences there. Mostly it's just formatting and there's two basically misspelled or inaccurate results. Moreover, many of the lyric sites that Google deems of suspect accuracy license lyric data from the same vendors Google contracts with to supply lyrics to its own lyrics information boxes. Notably, the lyrics site A to Z Lyrics, or just AZ Lyrics, which is used in the example described above, is powered by lyrics data from Music's Match. Music's Match is, upon information belief, a lyrics data vendor used by Google to provide lyrics for its lyrics information boxes. Elsewhere, Google makes it clear that it places little to no value on copied content. The lowest rating is appropriate if all or almost all of the main content on the page is copied, with little or no time, effort, expertise, manual curation, added value for users. Such pages should be rated the lowest by the evaluators. However, based on Google's own guidance, a reasonable person would expect Google's search engine would disfavor copied content. In reality, Google's information lyric boxes are displayed above all other search results. So Genius is getting suspicious, is what they're getting at. When Google initially rolled out this information box feature, Genius observed that the lyrics results were often inaccurate. When Genius observed lyrics information boxes that were accurate, Genius also observed that the lyrics in those boxes were sometimes identical on a character-for-character basis with those displayed on Genius's website. As previously discussed, given the fact that most lyrics are transcribed after listening to the sound recording, it is highly unlikely that another source of lyrics would be a character-for-character match, including punctuation, contractions, and line breaks, with lyrics appearing on Genius's website without having been copied from Genius's website. This is especially true for certain music genres, such as hip-hop, which often features songs with especially intricate lyrics. So as the lyrics get more complex or the song gets longer or whatever, there's going to be differences between my transcription and yours, even if both of them are 100% accurate as to the lyrics. Maybe I'll add commas, maybe I'll add line breaks, or maybe I'll just spell words in the correct spelling but different ways, like a contraction or something like that. So at some point here, does it become Google copying the lyrics on Genius's website? And since Genius has a license for those lyrics, is that some kind of copyright infringement then, if you've infringed on that license? Is it maybe it's a contract breach or copyright infringement, but it's one of the two, right? Maybe. Let's keep going. It's going to go far. There's more to it than this. The lyrics information box on Google is okay. So the lyrics information box for the designer song Panda was one of the first information boxes to cause Genius to suspect lyrics from its website were being misappropriated. Specifically, the lyrics to Panda displayed in the information box on Google and observed by Genius matched exactly, on a character-for-character basis, the lyrics to Panda featured on Genius's website. This observation suggested to Genius that Google's lyrics information box for Panda featured lyrics misappropriated from Genius's website. Having observed an exact copy of lyrics from its website, Genius sought to determine who was responsible for the apparent misappropriation. Genius was aware of two companies engaged in the business of licensing lyrics for display, Lyric Find and Music's Match. Genius was not aware of any lyrics data licensing arrangement between Google and Lyric Find or Google and Music's Match. However, their prominence in the lyrics data licensing business, Genius sought to determine if Lyric Find or Music's Match was responsible for the misappropriation of the lyrics to Panda from Genius's website. The lyrics to Panda featured on the website metrolyrics.com were licensed for display from Lyric Find, and the lyrics to Panda on the azlyrics.com site were licensed lyrics from Music's Match. By observing the lyrics to Panda featured on Metro Lyrics and AZ Lyrics, Genius could attempt to determine if Lyric Find or Music's Match had provided the lyrics to Google. If the lyrics to Panda matched, that would suggest that Lyric Find had misappropriated the lyrics. If the lyrics matched from the other site, it would be the other site. So they noticed that they didn't match either. Great. And then the only place that Genius could find an exact match was Google's lyrics information box. Haha, the plot thickens. So if AZ Lyrics didn't do it, if Metro Music didn't do it, if Music's Match didn't do it, if Lyric Find didn't do it, and the only place that had that copy of the lyrics was Genius, then maybe Google got it directly from Genius. Very plausible, right? Think of Google scraping. You know, they could have just scraped all these websites and then decided to go with the one that seemed to be the most accurate. Based on these observations, Genius devised a digital watermark to embed in certain lyrics appearing on its site. This watermark involved replacing the apostrophes in a selection of newly released songs with a distinctive pattern of curly and straight apostrophes. Genius set the 2nd, 5th, and 13th, 14th, 16th, and 20th apostrophes of each watermarked song as curly apostrophes, and all the others were set to straight. If the straight apostrophes are interpreted as dots and the curly apostrophes are interpreted as dashes, the pattern spells out red-handed in Morse code, as shown below. That is freaking clever.
This is so cool.
This is really cool. So you have these lyrics to Not Today by Alicia Cara. Someday I won't be afraid of my head. Someday I'll forget the day he left. One day I won't need a Ph.D. All of these contractions have different or varying straight or curly apostrophes. And the actual display apostrophe doesn't actually look much different to the user at that font or size or whatever. But if you interpret them as being the dots and dashes from Morse code, which is still, I think, a relevant communication system, not that we're going to write books in it, but you can use it for communicating things like this. And they were able to write out red-handed with dot dash, dot dash, dot, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So in Morse code, that spells out red-handed. And so if that same pattern appears in lyrics that are being copied on the web, then you might be able to make an assumption as to who copied those lyrics and bring that to a judge and see what the judge thinks about your copyright infringement claim. Now, there's a giant catch here in that Genius doesn't own the lyrics. They're owned by the underlying music publishers. So is it Genius's place to sue Google for copying lyrics that really belong to somebody else? Well, remember that copyright doesn't protect things you don't own, but it does protect your minimum creativity, like the very, very limited creativity. And spelling out red-handed in Morse code in your lyrics sounds creative to me. We're awful impressed, aren't we? That sounds pretty creative to me. So I bet that that's some kind of copyright infringement, even if the lyrics themselves are not exactly what we would consider copyright infringement between Genius and Google.
So the trap is set.
So a trap is set. Genius designed watermark number 1 to be woven into the text of the lyrics of the watermarked song so that if the apostrophe pattern were to be found outside Genius's website, there would be no explanation other than that the lyrics were copied from Genius's website using copy-paste functionality or a computer program. Over the next several months, Genius informally monitored Google's lyrics information boxes and sometimes encountered lyrics on Google that featured watermark number 1. May 2017, Genius first put Google on notice about the appearance of watermark number 1 in its lyrics information boxes. In an email, Genius provided Google with an example of a song, Kendrick Lamar's Pride, that featured watermark 1. Explaining that the presence of the watermark irrefutably proved that Google was displaying lyrics copied from Genius website in its lyrics information boxes. Genius received a response saying, "Give me a week to figure out what's going on." Genius followed up with multiple executives, and while they would repeatedly indicate that they were looking into it, no explanation was ever given. 2018 October, Genius designed an experiment to more systematically assess the incidence of lyrics misappropriated from Genius website in Google's lyrics information boxes. Specifically, they embedded watermark 1 in the lyrics for a random sample of new songs that appeared on Genius. In order to be included in the sample, a song had to have lyrics in English or Spanish, feature a sufficient number of apostrophes to support watermark number 1, and meet a popularity threshold. Genius randomly applied watermark number 1 to a percentage of new songs meeting the criteria for inclusion in the sample. Once a song became part of the sample set, Genius searched for its lyrics every day on Google and recorded whether the lyrics information box was present. If the lyrics information box was present, Genius recorded whether the lyrics displayed by Google therein featured watermark number 1. From October 2018 through December 2018, a 3-month period, a total of 301 songs were included in Genius Watermark 1 sample set. Of those, Google provided lyrics information boxes for 271, or 90% of them. Of those, 43%, or 116, showed clear evidence of matching watermark number 1. The distinctive pattern of curly and straight apostrophes described above. An example of a lyrics information box featuring watermark number 1 observed during this period is shown below. So here you go. Here is a screenshot of Not Today by Alicia Cara showing the different apostrophes. Okay, you can see that they're different apostrophes, but you almost can't tell if you don't look for it. I didn't even pick it up in the previous example. But if I don't know if I can zoom in too much further here. without starting to mess up our display. But yeah, you can see they are indeed sort of straight and curly apostrophes. Based on the above evidence, Genius concluded that the incidence of lyrics irrefutably copied from Genius website was widespread and the copying was systematic. I think the scheme is a genius one, don't you? On April 22nd, Genius again notified Google in writing that it was displaying misappropriated content. In that letter, Genius provided an example, noted that there were additional examples, and demanded Google cease and desist from displaying lyrics misappropriated from its website. In response, Google wrote to reassure Genius that lyrics in our information boxes are obtained through licensors, not through scraping. Google subsequently identified Lyric Find as the source of the lyrics from the examples that Genius provided to Google. Genius has long suspected that Lyric Find was misappropriating lyrics from Genius website. In fact, in August 2016, a Genius executive mentioned these concerns to Lyric Find CEO. Excuse me. As a result, April 30th this year, Genius wrote to Lyric Find to request that it cease and desist from the misappropriation and commercialization of content appearing on Genius's website, which violates Genius's terms of service as well as New York and California law. Notwithstanding that both Google and Lyric Find made use of the lyrics that unquestionably originated from Genius website, obtained in violation of terms of service, and were placed on actual notice of their behavior, neither Google nor Lyric Find took any steps to cease such conduct. In the weeks following Genius letters to both Google and Lyric Find, the defendants continued business as usual with respect to the display of lyrics, including watermark number 1. On June 16, 2019, the Wall Street Journal published an article titled "Lyric Site Accuses Google of Lifting Its Content," outlining Google and Lyric Find's misappropriation of lyrics from Genius website. In connection with reporting on the article, both Google and Lyric Find were contacted by reporters from the Wall Street Journal and other press outlets for comment. Chief Executive Officer of Lyric Find maintained, "We do not source lyrics from Genius." Google asserted, "We take data quality and creator rights very seriously and hold our licensing partners accountable to the terms of our agreement," and soon after issued a second statement saying, "We're investigating the issue with our data partners, and if we find that partners are not upholding good practices, we will end our agreements." The Journal article attracted significant discussion in the technology and music communities, and within days, both Google and Lyric Find issued statements in response. Google wrote, "News reports this week suggested that one of our lyrics content providers is in a dispute with a lyrics site about where their written lyrics come from. We've asked our lyrics partner to investigate the issue to ensure they're following industry best practices in their approach. We always strive to uphold high standards of conduct for ourselves and from the partners we work with." Google recited its commitments to upholding high standards and policing its content partners to ensure they're following industry best practices in their approach. No high standard or industry best practice includes the wholesale misappropriation of content from another company's website. Indeed, Google's own evaluation guidelines provide that copied content receives the lowest rating. These high standards apparently do not apply to Google or its own money-making products, including Google Search. Shortly after the Journal article, and seemingly in an effort to divert attention away from Google's knowing exploitation of misappropriated content, Google revised its lyrics information box search results to display the name of the data licensing partner from whom Google sourced its displayed lyrics. Hey, that was a really good idea. Significantly, all but one of the 21 lyrics information box examples that Genius provided to Google in April 2019, which all contain lyrics that were irrefutably misappropriated from Genius website, are now attributed to Lyric Find, not Genius. Shortly after the Journal article, Genius discovered that watermark number 1 had disappeared from Google's lyrics information boxes. The wholesale removal of watermark number 1 following the publicity of the journal article suggested to Genius that it was a deliberate effort to conceal the misappropriation of lyrics from Genius website. And Genius suspected it was likely such misappropriation which was continuing unabated. To test this suspicion, Genius devised a second watermark. This watermark involves replacing the 15th, 16th, 19th, and 25th spaces of each song's lyrics with a special white space character called a 4 per M space. This character, Unicode 2005 it looks identical to a normal space, which is Unicode 20, but can be differentiated via Unicode character codes. What did I just say? Readable by a computer. If one ignores the first 14 spaces of a song's lyrics and then interprets the 4 per M spaces as dashes and the regular spaces as dots, the sequence spells out the word genius in Morse code as shown below. That is very, very clever.
Nice job.
Very, very clever. Like, I don't even care if they have an underlying claim or not. This is still super clever just to figure out who's doing it. Like, this is super clever. Next, a sample of lyrics on Genius website was watermarked with the original watermark, and another sample was watermarked with watermark 2, and a final sample was watermarked with both. So, oh gosh, this is getting even better. Genius regularly monitored Google lyrics information boxes for songs in all 3 of the above groups. Genius did not observe watermark number 1 in any content on Google's lyrics information boxes. However, Genius did observe watermark number 2 on content in Group B and Group C.
Oh.
The frequency with which watermark number 2 appeared in Google's lyrics information boxes made clear that the misappropriation of lyrics from Genius's website was continuing unabated. Based on the analysis of the incidence of watermark number 2 in information boxes for songs in Groups B and C, Genius estimates that approximately 40% of lyrics for new music displayed in the information box feature lyrics that were being unlawfully misappropriated from Genius website. An example of lyrics information box featuring watermark number 2 is shown below. Here's Use You to Love Me.
So they were using some kind of an algorithm to automatically replace the apostrophes with just a generic apostrophe.
Like straighten out all the apostrophes, right? Yeah, make them all the same Unicode character.
Yeah.
Even more egregious with regards to Group C, Genius identified numerous instances in which watermark number 1 was not present in Google's lyrics information box, yet the same lyrics featured watermark number 2, the details of which had not been made public. An example is shown below. This is Break My Heart by Whale, and you can see that it has both on the left and only one on the right. So somebody programmed something to remove the watermark, but didn't realize there was a second watermark. This is genius. In other words, Genius has identified a number of Google's information boxes that feature lyrics misappropriated from Genius's website that originally had 2 watermarks embedded on them, and now, when displayed in Google's information boxes, no longer feature the publicly known watermark while retaining the non-public watermark. This pattern suggests that a deliberate effort was being made to conceal the misappropriation of lyrics from Google's website. On November 6, Genius notified Google that it had devised another watermark and performed another experiment, which demonstrated that lyrics for new music information boxes were still being misappropriated from Genius's website. And B, that for numerous songs, the publicly known watermark appeared to have been systematically removed while the non-public watermark 2 remained. Genius demanded that Google stop displaying lyrics misappropriated from Genius's website and address the issue. December 2nd, Google's attorneys responded to Genius stating that Google has done nothing wrong and continued to assign all responsibility to their data licensing partners. Google made no mention of their purported investigation other than to assert that they obtained additional reassurances from their data partners that they do not and would not obtain lyrics from Genius's website. And this is dated December 3rd at 10:25 a.m. So they had this all written out and went to Google one last time and didn't threaten it. They didn't say, Google, we have a lawsuit here that we're ready to file against you. Would you like to come clean? No, they gave Google one last graceful chance to come clean on their own. And Google did not. Google gave up that chance, and so they just went to the county clerk of Kings County, New York, and said, "Okay, here you go. Here's your sign."
They gave him a chance. They gave him a chance to eat crow.
They did.
They were like, "Look,
they did.
Just work with us here.
Yeah.
Like we don't want anything right now. We just want you to stop using our lyrics." And Google's like, "What lyrics? So we're not using your lyrics."
Yeah. So then here's the case study. One case study. Selena Gomez's "Lose You to Love Me." October 23rd, she released her new single. The song would reach #1 position by November 9th. Genius staff members marked the lyrics as complete and accurate October 23rd, 10:34 a.m. Same day, the lyrics received more than 600,000 views on Genius. The period between October 23rd and November 2nd was the first organic search Genius was the first organic search result on Google for the lyrics. Due to Genius's placement in Google's search results, approximately 75% of searchers for those lyrics between those dates clicked through to Genius. This traffic made that song the #1 song on Genius's website for October 2019. November 3rd. Google began displaying a lyrics information box above all organic search results for those lyrics. The lyrics contain Genius's watermark #2, irrefutably demonstrating that these lyrics were misappropriated from Genius's website. On November 4th, after the information box appeared, the click-through rate to Genius for the search query "Lose You to Love Me" lyrics dropped from 75% to 5%, as shown below. Holy mackerel. And so, defendants' actions harm Genius. When Genius is the first organic search result, click-through rates are 60 to 80%, but when they are not, it's 5 to 20%. Genius sells advertising and has had an economic impact because of this. And so they're squeezing Genius out of search results. And so breach of contract as against Lyric Find is the first cause of action. Because there are terms of service on Genius's website, and Lyric Find has accessed those terms or accessed the website in violation of those terms. That could be correct. Now, of course, Lyric Find would have to have a person access the website, and it would have to qualify under contract law as having formed a mutual assented agreement. So that's possible. There are such things as click wrap or shrink wrap or usage, website usage agreements. You use the website, therefore you agree to the terms. But usually those terms have to be closely relevant to the usage of the website. The South Park episode, I Centipede or whatever, where Cartman, I think it's Cartman, or Kyle, so somebody accidentally gives Steve Jobs the right to make a human centipede out of them. That's not going to fly in actual contract law. But yeah, you could actually find, Lyric Find could find that they may have violated that agreement, definitely. The terms of service provide that expressly as authorized in writing, you agree not to modify, copy, frame, scrape, rent, lease, loan, sell, distribute, etc. the content. Now, although you might agree, you still have the right to make a fair use. So, but I doubt that Lyric Find and Google were making fair uses if they're just wholesale copying content without any commentary. So let's keep going. Indemnification against Lyric Find. Genius terms of service. You agree to indemnify and hold harmless Genius if you've done something wrong. Indemnification is common between contracting parties, especially where a larger party is doing business with a smaller, less known, maybe riskier party, and they'll say that if that smaller party wants to do business with the larger party, they have to indemnify them. So if something the smaller party or other party does hurts the bigger party, then the smaller party has to take care of it, has to pay for it. Now, yes, there's a problem there. The smaller party might not be able to. True. Let's forget about that for a second. This is just how they agreed to work it out in the beginning of their contractual arrangement. And as a result, Genius has suffered damage of no less than $50 million. Wow. No event less than $50 million. Let's try that one. And then breach of contract against Google, because Google probably also agreed to the terms of service in accessing and everything. And then indemnification against Google. So this is all based on the contract. Now, this is based on common law unfair competition. So common law is basically court-created law. It's usually very old. It's usually not terribly new law. But so this is New York's common law for unfair competition, which means that Genius is accusing Lyric Fine and Google of unfair not just competition is good. We want fair competition. We don't want unfair competition. This is unfair competition where Google's self-interest in their own advertising systems and keeping people on Google is conflicting with their search results, which are supposed to be reliable and organic search results. California unfair competition. Okay. Not sure how we're allowed to use California law. Maybe that's because we're in California against Lyric Fine. That might be it. New York common law unfair competition again, so against Google that time. California unfair competition business code 17,200. We've heard about that a couple dozen times. Unjust enrichment, which is when you make money or you gain a benefit in an unfair way against someone. It's a similar kind of common law. It might be codified, but it's also a common law remedy. So Google has unjustly enriched themselves. I'm just dropping things on the floor. Google has unjustly enriched themselves in the same, sort of a repeating claim or cause of action, but something, if you throw a spaghetti at the wall, some of it will stick. Unjust enrichment against Lyric Fine. And then they want 50 million plus costs and all other relief, and that's it. And then they verify the thing, and that's the thing. So what do we think of that? That is super cool that they caught Google using those two watermarks. Like, I think I'm a pretty clever person, and I'm not sure how I would have come up with that kind of watermarking scheme for text-based lyrics. That's really clever, and I'm really impressed. It's genius, I might even say for the third time. This is my complaint about copyright trolls like Malibu Media and Strike 3 Holdings. Copyright troll, my opinion, that they're a copyright troll because they could put watermarks, they could send DMCA notices, they could find the original seeders of the pirated content, but they do not. And they go straight to lawsuits, and they use weird tactics in their lawsuits that maybe aren't illegal, but maybe aren't the most straightforward or direct or correctly used procedures. So I'm happy to see that Genius has instead used those same techniques that I complained about not being used, and used them in like exactly the appropriate way to use them, to find and root out the infringement and the infringer, rather than going after individuals or something. Not that that's really what's going to happen here in Lyric's world, but instead they went and made a good case first, and then went after somebody. So this is, yeah, Morse code apostrophes is really cool. I've never heard of such a thing, and I'm really, really impressed. Who knew that Morse code would be relevant in 2019? I mean, I have a ham radio license, and I haven't used my Morse code in, it's been 2 decades. I'm ashamed.
Okay, we have a lot of people who have been complaining.
You said a lot of people complaining.
I did. about you calling it Morse code.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
It's Morse code.
Morse code. Yeah, it's probably ingrained in me to say it the incorrect way.
Yeah. Morse code. Morse.
See footnote 8 on page 23. Okay, I will go directly to page 23. I will not pass go. I will not. Notably, Genius has been able to identify user accounts on Genius registered with email addresses associated with the corporate domains of both Google and Lyric Find. Oh, that's interesting. So they have even more evidence that there are accounts registered. But that's, I mean, okay, so let's just assume that you didn't know all the rest of that. Like, just having accounts wouldn't necessarily be incriminating. But yeah, if there's incriminating activity, this is civil. But if there's incriminating activity, yeah, they have. That's another fact that seems to indicate that there's been activity. So, who is more Horse code? Yeah, I'm gonna pronounce the word horse as Horus for the rest of my life. Now that I have,
we're slowly like creating our own language, just like what's his name? What's your favorite Canadian YouTuber? Crap.
Matthias Wendell?
No. Oh. the guy that does tool reviews. I can't remember his name right now. He sponsored a video for us, remember? And you did one in his style.
Oh, AV.
Yeah, AVE. Yeah, that's the guy. He has his own like little language that he uses in his videos.
Videos, yeah. A word you have to be careful to say properly or you get demonetized.
Yes.
Arduino versus evil. Yep. Well, thank you for joining me. Let me start the music here and I'll do an actual outro. So thank you for joining me, everyone. That is our show. I am Leonard French, your favorite copyright attorney, and this has been Lawful Masses, your favorite legal education, Do we do legal commentary? Actually, we do legal commentary here. We do philosophical commentary here. We do high-level intellectual shenaniganery here. Thank you very much to all of the people who make that possible, including Brandon, who is in the virtual studio with us, Tactical, who works as my business assistant, to Joe, who is quickly becoming a key contributor, and congratulations to Joe for passing your first semester law school exams with flying colors. We had nothing to do with it, I'm sure, and won't take any credit for any of that. It was all you. It was all you, actually, so I'm just being stupid. Anyway, thank you to the people who make this channel financially possible on patreon.com/ljfrench and sponsors.com/law. At the $50 level in the month of December. Thank you to Aspernari, John Steele, Gavin Barnard, Eevi, Kyle Mudrak, Michael Pearce, Spirit Bear, Jan Negrey, Daniel Perez, SnorreW, blackleaf, Joe Tyson, Benjamin Hitov, Steven. And I would like to give a personal, special welcome to two new $50 plus supporters, Rumble in the Bunghole and Cute Grills in your area. I am sure that I have no idea who those two people are. And thank you very much to the $5 plus supporters who will be scrolling on the, not scrolling on the LED panel behind you because I screwed up, but they will be in the description of the video below. This is not a production stream, so we're not going to drop any videos. This is dropped. You're watching this. It was produced live and it's on YouTube as a VOD now. So thank you for watching. We love you all. No, really, we do. I am above and over all of the, I'm too good to tell people that I care about that I love them. No. I love you guys. You guys are awesome. You rock. You're watching this show. I mean, you're not just going and watching any old Jerry Springer style show. You're learning something on Lawful Masses. You have all of my love and admiration, and I aspire to be like you. Anyway, have a great Thursday. I hope you enjoy. I am Leonard French, your favorite copyright attorney. Let me see if I can get Nico back in the last 10 seconds. Nico. It's too late. All right. He's coming. He's coming. He's coming. We're going to get him. We're going to get him. We're going to get the Nico to say goodbye. Take the stream out with Nico. Take the stream out with Nico. Say goodbye. 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 Wait, no, we can do this. We can add a 0 here. And then we can press goodbye.